The three-day fourth edition of the Shillong Literary Festival concluded today at the picturesque Watts Lake in Shillong. The festival, a celebration of literary and cultural exchange, provided a vibrant platform for authors and writers to interact and showcase their work. This year's event featured renowned authors such as Vikram Seth, Jerry Pinto, Shobha De, Kinpham Singh Nongkanri, Sabir Hussain and many others who engaged with audiences through discussions, readings and workshops. Tourism Minister Paul Lyngdoh graced the closing ceremony of the festival as the chief guest. In his address, he lauded the success of this year's festival, describing it as a significant cultural milestone. Looking ahead, he promised that the next edition of the festival would be further elevated and enhanced to offer an even richer experience for attendees.
It's indeed a privilege for me to bring the curtains down formally on LitFest 2024, which is the fourth edition and by far also the most successful festival thus far. It is indeed very heartening, very gratifying, and I think all of us deserve a round of applause for the success with which this festival has been met. There is a saying that teamwork works, and that is what has been encapsulated throughout the last 3 days. But then, as the saying goes, everything must come to an end. But then I'm also happy to say that the fact that the sun goes down and sinks below the hills also reminds us that there is time for rest, for the evening, but then the sun, we take it for granted, will again come to rise in the next morning. So LitFest 2024 is just a precursor for the next level where we will elevate and enhance the experience of literature as was witnessed in the last 3 days to an altogether new and different dimension in the next year. I'm happy to see and to hear that the Ambassador, His Excellency Mr. Sunil, has invited our state for an exchange at the cultural, the musical and literary levels. We were part of an exchange, the Northeast Cultural Festival, which was held at Istanbul in September this year. And it is for the first time that our singers, our cultural ambassadors, our designers, our textile products all had a platform at Istanbul. Your Excellency, we accept your invitation with profuse thankfulness, and we will certainly ensure that we take the best possible contingent to Turkey. As you rightly mentioned, cuisine is something which is very important in our touristic experience. All this while, we have always read that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, but I think now we can say that the way to a tourist's heart is also through his stomach. And certainly cuisine, culture, climate, customs, all of these are the strong and very powerful USPs of Meghalaya as a state. I think we have reached a level where the rest of India, and in fact even beyond the bounds of India, are looking towards Meghalaya for the kind of immersive, experiential tourism that we have to offer.
Ambassador of Turkey to India delivered the keynote address at the closing ceremony. He highlighted the importance of cultural diplomacy in fostering mutual understanding and trust between nations through the exchange of language, history, art, and literature. He further remarked that such festivals serve as excellent examples of cultural diplomacy in action.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As an ambassador and an author, it is a profound honor for me to address the keynote speech at the Shillong Literary Festival. As we navigate a world of increasing globalization, where societies are more interconnected, yet often more divided, the importance of cultural diplomacy cannot be overstated. Cultural diplomacy builds bridges between different cultures and peoples. It fosters mutual understanding, trust, and respect between nations. Cultural diplomacy involves using the art, language, history, and shared cultural values to build relationships. Literature remains one of the most powerful tools we have for understanding ourselves, our world, and our shared humanity. Furthermore, it preserves culture and history. It is a vessel that carries the voices of those who came before us. Through literature, we learn about the dreams, struggles, and triumphs of different generations. It allows us to hear voices that have been marginalized or silenced in official histories. In doing so, it does not only connect us to the past, but helps us to understand the present and shape the future. With the Forgotten Folklore project in the Shillong Literary Festival, Meghalaya has shown its awareness and commitment to protect its cultural heritage.
a te